City council members have announced their plan to disband the Minneapolis Police Department.
We're calling for defunding the police.
Shootings in New York City have more than doubled this year.
Thursday night, it's the communications room with Lieutenant Andrew Baxter, also known as Andrew Up Late. I don't know if some of you are following that on Instagram.
That saga's unfolding.
Drew, you are back from your cruise. You were looking surprisingly alive, considering I had written you off as dead. You are not waterlogged. You are not sunburned. You are not swollen with bee welts or anything else. It's good to have you back. I missed you, buddy. I believed in you. I believed you would survive. How was your cruise, buddy? How was your cruise?
Oh, it was great. It was a Disney cruise. And let me tell you something. I think our message is being heard across America. Listen, I went on this cruise with this one thought in mind. Like, I'm not a huge Disney fan. I'm not anti-Disney by any stretch of the imagination. They provide a lot of I love them simply, if not for anything other than there's no state income tax where I live because of them, pretty much.
There's no state income tax where I live, and we don't have Disney here either.
Right. You don't have a grocery store within 40 miles either.
But we kill our food here, Drew.
So I always I went into this thinking or knowing, look, this is for the kids. Let's just let the kids have a blast. This could be the deal of a lifetime for them. And I'm going to tell you, much ado about nothing. There was one tiny little display in one tiny gift shop of Pride material. There was oddly a trans person on the ship. Nobody gives a shit. And it's not in your face as it used to be. I don't know if this is like Dylan Mulvaney kind of, or Michael Eisner has come back and just said, hey guys, just chill out a little bit. I mean, it was all about fun. It was about Disney characters for the kids, and the cruise itself was wonderful. We went to Mexico. We didn't get off the ship in Mexico because my stepdaughter refused to get off the ship in Mexico. I think that she feared she was going to be human trafficked. We had a blast. We went to Cayman. I pet a dolphin.
A serious question. What the hell do you do on a cruise? Did you go play shuffleboard and
Oh, you eat. No,
yeah,
I didn't play
boring.
shuffleboard. That's that playing shuffleboard is so 70s sitcom, John. So Love Boat. I mean, like, we didn't go to the Lido deck and play shuffleboard. I didn't fear that I was going to lose my lover to the tennis instructor. It just didn't. There was no Mr. Roper, or Mr. Groper around there anywhere. It just doesn't work that way. But
I'm sure a young audience appreciates those references.
Yeah, it's timely. I know. Norman Fell. I'm sure they all know who that is.
Yes, of course.
The great actor Norman Fell. I want to address something that occurred to me, and this is something that really gets under my skin sometimes, and I shouldn't let it, but I do. I was scrolling around Instagram, and I saw a not-for-profit page had done a podcast where they talked to a dispatcher, and basically his caption was, what a lot of people don't realize is that they're, basically that the dispatchers don't get any closure. Look, I'm not going to mention the podcast because I don't fear the competition. In fact, I invited the guy to come on. But I don't want to call attention to this. I'm a little embarrassed at my own behavior, but not for the reason you think, and definitely not for the reason the other person thinks, probably. So what essentially happened was, I just chimed in as Drew Breezy and said, hey, I really appreciate you covering stuff like this. This has kind of been my passion. Well, here, as a matter of fact, John, I can show you. Thank you for asking.
Yes, this is a podcast. Show our listeners what you got.
It says, I said, thank you for talking about this. Highlighting the subpar treatment of telecommunicators and acknowledging their traumas has been my passion for a few years. And it will be till the day I die. Just know that commitment, John. It says it's been my passion for years, and it will be to the day I die. I said my profile has resources, and I also have a research project on the topic. If anyone wants to DM me for it, keep fighting the good fight. So, it was just kind of like a, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing, and you know, I don't want to take away anything that you did, but at the same time, like I got stuff too. I mean, like I can help you out, or I can help anybody that may have come across your podcast if they're looking for stuff. And I'll show you. Let me show you this real quick. This is
I would be able to read it on a normal day, but now I have no chance. So
yeah, this so everyone will know is called Mitigating Workplace Stress and Trauma in the Civilian Sector. It's dated February 4th, 2019. It was authored by Lieutenant Andrew Baxter of the Department of Patrol Services.
never heard of him.
It was a promotional like as a thing for a promotion that I did.
I think I read that once.
It's essentially 36 pages long. And I did a very deep dive into dispatcher trauma, and I did a very deep dive into you know, the ills and of what 911 operators go through, and actually what child abuse investigators go through. I went into a lot of stuff. So the point of me telling you that is that it exists, and it has also come in handy in the past, because I know that there are people from other agencies that have actually hit me up for that, and they've used it to kind of craft their message to the administration. I know for a fact one guy who was in the same position I was in a different agency ended up, you know, bargaining with the union somehow and getting them more money and getting. So I know that the thing is doing good. I know it's successful, and it definitely, I poured my heart and soul into that. And to be quite honest with you, when I was you know, a lieutenant up there, I poured my heart and soul into that job. You're never going to take that away from me. You're never going to take that experience away from me. You know, while I was up there, we had 3 deaths. We had 3 dispatchers that died. I had discipline cases that I had to demote friends. I had to write up friends. We also had cases where I got to promote friends. You know, that was a roller coaster. And I'm going to tell you, I'm an empath. So when the room is dark in the literal sense, I take it all in, and you know, we dealt with a very heavy topic. We dealt with a guy who committed a murder suicide on our radio, so our dispatchers were listening. I had to kind of manage the chaos that ensued from that. I had to make sure that everybody was safe, and you know, like, I'm not lamenting this. I felt to be my job and my duty. 2 of the main dispatchers that were working did not take it well, and you know, I was at a Christmas party one night, and that night it was pretty close to Christmas, and I stepped out of the Christmas party to call them both and make sure that they were doing okay. And I'm just telling you, I come from a place of, like, I just care about these people. Well, this was her response. This is where somebody's off response. It says, Drew Breezy, thank you, but please consider your audience. This is a dispatcher post, not a telecommunicators post, not telecommunicators. I feel like that label is slightly demeaning. What we go through can be debilitating at times. It takes a special type of person and such skill. No offense taken. I just wanted to bring it to your attention, but please respect the title. Thank you. Okay. So we
have a show that's about making you feel respected.
She felt that she needed to take the time out of her day to tell me to correct me.
But she feels that way because she's so disrespected. She can't assume that anyone respects her. Listen, lady, we're here. We're here every week,
and that's
for
why
24 weeks. I busted my butt to make you feel better. You need to calm down, lady. Like, telecommunicators, first of all, is not a dispatch. It's not a demeaning term. It's called National Telecommunicators Week. You can call yourself an operator. You can call yourself a dispatcher.
Safety Telecommunicators Week 1.
A radio telephone operator, but you're just looking for a reason to fight Drew Breezy. And believe me, I have physically fought this man, and he doesn't go down as easy as you think. And you know what else? He fights dirty, but his conscience is clean.
Listen, she can have her voice. I responded with a very lengthy post about who I was and what I did and how many years I had, and she got both barrels. There's no question. It's long overdue. But if you do a simple Google search, NENA telecommunicator. NENA is National Emergency Number Association. It's the standard in the industry. If you Google NENA telecommunicator, the first thing that comes up on my chat GPT or whatever it is for Google, NENA's telecommunicator core competency is a 40-hour self-paced, the standard. in the industry is to call you a telecommunicator. I'm just being kind. This is like saying, excuse me, do not call me a corrections officer. I am a turnkey. You know,
Or a
if you're going
screw
to look,
or a pig or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. I am a jail guard. If you're going to look down your nose at me, just do a little research about who you're talking to, especially if you're telling me to know my audience, because I've known my audience for 29 years. There, I said it. So if it upsets you that I've got almost 3 decades in the industry, I can't take my experience back. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I fought for people like you, and I still do, and I still will.
I'm
And
fighting.
if you walked into this room right now, whoever you are, I would still give you a big hug, and I would still advocate for you and protect you and do what I can, because I'm going to tell you right now, 99.9% of that profession is great, fun-loving people just like John that want to engage or that want to help people. And then there's that 0.1% in your telecommunications room or in your comm center that is that cancer, that all they have are complaints. They have no solutions. And all they want to do is pick.
Well, they've got a chip on their shoulder too, just automatically. But I'll say to this person, like, if you somehow get wind of this, like, first of all, good on us for somehow reaching you. You're not banned from the show. You're not going to be excoriated when you get here. Yes, we had like a minor beef, but you come on here. Number one, we'll talk about whatever your issue is. We'll give you the floor and we'll be quiet for it. Number two, we're going to break down a case with whatever your experience is. Come on and be with us on here on the show, because we've had Carly and Dispatcher John, and we've teamed up with 10-8
Amanda
Dispatcher Shenanigans. We had Amanda on here, another 911 dispatcher. The show is for 911 dispatchers, and we're all for inclusivity and all that. So get on here and do a show with us and tell us what your problem is, so that you can feel better and so that we can understand you. So you're hereby invited on the show. You can call us at 848-COMM-911. That's 848-COMM-911. Leave us a message.
266-6911.
Nice. Tell us how to get in touch with you. Get on the show. We're going to make it happen. Like, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Like, if you think dispatchers, that maybe you got something to bring to light, you have something to bring to the table rather than petty criticism, then come on. Let's do it. You're welcome here. Yeah. And anybody else that has like a problem, like if you're a dispatcher or, if you're a cop, come on the show. Like, that's good. Come on. We'll have discussion.
Come on.
Yes. What is it you like to have? You like to have discussion without punches? What's your slogan? Discourse without
discord.
Yeah.
That's actually Abby's phrase.
I've had enough of her getting credit on things. I listened to her latest episode on being a police officer. She introduced she talks to this police officer named Nako from NYPD and LAPD. Fangirls the entire time, and I'm just like, how can I ever come back? First of all, after this episode, because this guy's just like, I punched Osama bin Laden in the face, for 9/11, and I'm just like, I remember the time, I had to fight a naked guy in a shower room. So it's like I don't even belong on her podcast anymore. But she was fangirling big time. She goes, "You lived in the same neighborhood as me, and we both lived in the same city. How weird!"
No, they were. I think she said they were neighbors. Did they? Did
they
she
were?
not?
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was a great episode. I'm teasing you, Abby. I love your episodes.
Yeah, we love Abby. You need to go. You definitely need to check that out. On being a police officer, it's a great episode. Okay, go ahead, John.
All right. So a couple weeks ago, I was. Friend of mine told me about her son, who's a big fan of the show. His name's Thad, even though earlier this week some people had some interesting things to say about the name Thad. I happen to think it's a very cool name. It's my third favorite apostle is Thaddeus, just so you know. But anyway, so Thad is a youngster, and he likes the fact that I have a show, and he likes the fact that he met me once, and he thinks I'm a big deal, which is very nice, Thad. I'm proud to know you too. And so Thad, he wants to be a podcaster. He wants to do video games, which, I told her like, hey, we could play Mario 3 on YouTube. And I don't think he has ever heard of that game. Anyway, so I said, Thad, if you're a big fan of the show, tell you what, we've been handling all these really depressing cases lately. Like we handled a case where like a brother shot and killed his brother and blew up the house. And we handled a case where 2 sheriff's deputies were killed. And we handled, some other stuff. That's
veteran suicide.
That episode is a tearjerker. So we're always tackling very heavy stuff. So I said to his mom, I said, listen, this is a challenge for you. I said, if you can get me the materials for a classic comm center case, meaning you get body cam footage from a police department and a 911 call to go with it that we could present and break down as a police officer and a dispatcher, and it's positive, I'll put it on the air, meaning like, we can't have like the sad ending, sad turnout, tears for the victims. I want something positive to go on. So this 12-year-old boy is given this assignment and he just runs with it. Like as soon as he finds out about it, Thad runs out and goes and starts digs through the internet. And he comes across this case from 2019 in Oregon, Ohio. And this was a very interesting case for him. And I think it's an interesting case for a lot of people who are kind of outside 911. So time comes, how do you get the material? Well, Drew, just illegally downloads it from the internet, and I screenshot it from the internet so that I don't have to interact with anyone. And but Thad contacted the police department in Oregon, Ohio, and he says, "Hey, I'm looking for the 911 audio and the police body cam footage from this case, please and thank you." And Oregon, Ohio, being the classy Lake Erie dwelling people that they are, sent it right back to him and said, "Here you go." So here's to Thad, who can do just as much work as I can to put together the case on Najee Seabrooks or anything else. He contacted a police department at age 12, got body cam footage, got a
and
911.
after 2 Supreme Court appeals, he has finally won.
He didn't have case. He didn't have to do anything, and it's it's an extremely interesting case because a lot of people will ask me about this as a 911 dispatcher. You may remember during Super Bowl 49, I believe, there was a commercial that got played on TV that kind of like displayed a lot of what 911 dispatchers do, and so this was something that people always ask me about. And actually, if it played during Super Bowl 49, it would have happened too late. But I remember I referenced a video like this when I was in my interview process for 911, and I said, I could do this. I'll just go ahead and play the video for you here.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
When it's hard to talk, it's up to us to listen. Help end domestic violence and sexual assault. So that is for an organization. I'm sorry I couldn't read the name on my screen because it's so far away, being cooled down by ice. But so that's like the classic what a 911 dispatcher does. And this is, if we harken back to like episode 3, we talked about Paul Pelosi, and it was kind of like, what are coded 911 calls like? So Thad set out to get one of these calls, and Thad has done that. So I present for you now the case from Oregon, Ohio. Drew is popping back in and out. He's trying to fix StreamYard, which I think is just critically broken. Stick around, Drew. Stick around if you would, so that you can. You could break down this case with us because there's some police stuff in here too. All right.
I'm good.
Thad, this is your case.
Oregon 911.
I would like to order a pizza at 2846 Pickle Road.
You called 911 to order a pizza?
That's a typical response.
Apartment 171.
This is the wrong number to call for a pizza.
No, you're not.
I'm getting you now.
Okay.
I got it. What apartment?
171.
Is the other guy still there?
Yep. I need a large pizza.
All right. How about medical? You need medical?
No. With pepperoni.
All right. We'll get him going. Do you want to stay on the phone? Can you stay on the phone or?
No.
All right. We'll get him going.
Thank you.
Yep.
So there you have it. That's a real 911 call from 2019, which I'm sure comes after that commercial that aired on TV, but that was exactly the same thing. Drew, do you have any 911 thoughts on that? I mean, you had a comment that that was utterly typical that the dispatcher was correcting them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you do get stupid calls like that all the time, and and that is the typical response. Like, come on, man, you know you can't order a pizza here, but you know drunk people do drunk things, and you know that guy was kind of on the ball. He's like, gotcha.
Yep.
Like this is finally his Super Bowl.
Yep.
I do think on the lighter side of this, if there is a lighter side to domestic violence, which I don't think there is, but I think it would be troublesome for John to understand if this were a domestic violence call or a pizza call, because where he works, he actually does take pizza orders as well.
We do, yeah. We have Tarnell County Pizza /911. So
yeah, so I mean, he did that dispatcher was on the ball for doing what he did, and offering to stay on the line, and also offering questions, pizza related questions, if you will. You know what I mean? To keep her in the
so that she doesn't give the game away. Yeah, pepperoni and all this, which I would have liked to see. Like, would you like a side, or do you want to hear about our specials? We got breadsticks going on and things like this. But the only thing, and I don't want to criticize the dispatcher from Oregon because he did a great job. Like, do you have any weapons? That's a yes or no question.
Yeah,
kind of a critical thing, but it's okay because the police get there and they're able to. Well, we'll just show you. Drew, you ready to do the police half of this classic Comm Center breakdown?
Can't wait.
Let's do it. I will add it back to our presentation. Here we go. So this is the body cam footage. We're in a hallway outside an apartment. The police are approaching. They're on either side. They're getting ready to knock.
Marco's Pizza!
Oh, brother.
Hello. Hello. Got a pizza for you. You want to step out?
We got the victim at the door. She's coming outside.
Who
and the 911 caller's coming out. And yes, she does have a toothbrush in her mouth. If you
charcoal shit, so it's black. My mom's been showing me. He's hit 3 times.
She says he's hitting my mom.
It's ordinarily. He's yelling. He's pushing me, punching me in my arm. I can't take it.
Hit you, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so they identified his approximate location inside the apartment. There are others inside. So one of the police officers said, hey, is it that bald guy? No, that's just someone who's there trying to keep the peace. The suspect has no weapons, and he's been drinking for hours. Drew, what extraordinary things about this case leap out to you so far? I know that you've handled plenty of domestics. I know each of them is absolutely unique. Go ahead and tackle this one for Thad. Let him know that what you would do if you were in the place of one of those police officers. Go ahead, Drew.
2 victims right there, 2 potential victims. That's your pool of victims right there. So keep them outside. You definitely want to get their stories so that you're not in the presence of the guy, because he's going to chime in, or he's going to intimidate them into giving you false information, basically, that makes him look innocent. And then having the knowledge that he's been drinking all day, that could work in your favor. If he'd only been drinking for a couple hours, as funny as this sounds, that might be a task. But if he's been drinking all day, we're looking at a couple of gut punches and we're good.
I'm sure that as a 12-year-old appreciates the effects of drinking alcohol
yes.
all day long.
Well,
how that dulls that. If you don't, first of all, don't ever drink. Beer tastes terrible. I'll explain that to you later. But this guy's been drinking all day. And it just makes him, kind of, he's not as smart as you at this point. So that's all Drew's really trying to say.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So, and then, no, actually what I'm saying is that he'd be, if he's going to resist, this is what's going through my mind. Like, you're going to end up taking him into custody because she's already told you about a crime that was committed.
Yeah.
He punched her, which is a crime. That's called domestic violence battery here in the state of Florida. I don't know what it's like in Ohio there, but so you're going to go in and get him, or you're going to call him out to you. Either way, it's probably safer to call him out to you. That way you're not on common ground. You're on common ground. You're not in his territory. So
yeah,
you call him out, and you hope he doesn't have any weapons. But what I'm saying on the drinking part is that if he's blasted, If he's been drinking all day, then it's probably going to be a little bit of a, he he might do a couple swings and a miss before you're able to get your hands on him.
Yeah, loss of coordination,
Yeah.
and other things. But we'll see how the officers of the Oregon Police Department handle it.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So what's going on tonight?
They bring him out.
We was arguing and I'm going to bed. Staying here now.
Okay.
I'm going to bed.
Pause it, John.
Swear to God.
I've been
Okay,
sober
go
for 14 years, but I still speak drunk. He says that we were arguing, but now I'm going to bed. And
Yeah.
he's got his hands up in the air. He has the hair of Little Lord Fauntleroy, but he also appears to be some type of witch. He doesn't have any teeth.
I was going to say discount Lorenzo Lamas, but I don't think that's old enough to get that reference.
He is wish.com Lorenzo Lamas. I'll take that. I'll do that.
I'll get you some VHS tapes then, so you know who that is.
Right. He could be a painter. You know what I mean? Like a painter, like from the Dutch Boy. You know what I mean? The can of Dutch Boy, but and this is kind of like on brand for painters. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So as you can see, this is not his first rodeo. He says, "I'm going to bed." I think he knows what's about to happen.
Abby brings out a good point.
So I need you to space out more for me, sir.
Can I get my shoes on?
Hold on.
He doesn't even care he's being arrested. Can I have my shoes?
Can I get asked what I'm getting arrested for?
Hold on.
What's up, man? So much. I'm all right.
So he put
You
the
lose
handcuffs
some a
on him.
little bit?
What's that?
You lose some a little bit. I'm a little tight. I'm not going to set no
I know.
time.
Hold on one second.
ain't-
You gotta do it. Okay.
So this guy who ostensibly, pushed and hit a woman today, yeah, his handcuffs are too tight. Ouch, they hurt. I can't help but notice the lack of empathy there, that he's drawing any kind of conclusion that perhaps his behavior is hurtful to others. Drew, go ahead.
I do see in the chat here that shoes are important. I beg to differ. Like, I'm all about treating them humanely, but at the same time, like, let's get them in the car. We can throw a pair of shoes in there.
Well, it's the
It's
middle
just
of
one
winter in
less thing to
Ohio
worry
too.
about.
You don't have to pay for his toaster.
That's fine. You don't have to beat your wife either.
That's true. You make a good point.
And Abby pointed out that this is Rasputin. I don't know if you heard that or not.
Oh,
right, go
no, my chats are way behind. I'll have to duck out at some point, but no. So we just have a few more minutes here of Mr. Simon
Shoes are not
Lopez.
important. Update from Honey Badger. Shoes are not important. That
They're
was
not
sarcasm.
important. Also, just a reference out there for Falk narrator. She's like obsessed with Laszlo Lopez. I don't know if there's, Lopez is kind of a unique name. I don't really know if perhaps they're related. Maybe they're not. And if Lastro, if you're in the chats and you're offended by that, I've never met you, so I don't know why I really care that much about your opinion. I don't want you to be offended, but I guess maybe, I don't know. All right, we'll keep going.
Okay, is
Go
his
ahead.
first name Lastro, or is his first name Last and his middle
I
name
don't know.
Rowe?
It's his gang
all right,
name
go
as far
ahead.
as I'm concerned. All
Discuss in the
Hey,
chat.
ask what I'm getting arrested for?
You're arrested for domestic violence.
For what? I didn't touch her.
Okay.
We was arguing. That's bullshit. Karen!
Yes. We'll discuss it.
All right,
Relax, man.
I'm
Don't walk
not.
away from me.
Come on, let's go. Get over it. I got to take a cigarettes and everything.
Hold on, man.
I ain't got no drugs or nothing. I ain't got nothing.
What's up?
Drug job, right?
Oh, he did that. All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
Amazing.
Okay, gunpoint 132 in Bush, covers code 3.
The ingenuity of Jonathan, whose last name shall not be doxed like Josh's. The ingenuity never ceases. That was a takeoff on the cops ending, and he nailed it. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Yes,
that's
true.
how just about every cops episode ended when I was coming up in the world. I was, just a young dispatcher watching cops, dreaming of the days that I'd be able to put Rasputin in the back of my car He's more worried about his smokes than anything else.
That guy is dead serious time, by the way, because he's like walking away from the officer. The officer's like, "Why are you walking? Don't walk away from me." And he goes like, well, "Let's go." You know, like he's just for him the most annoying part of being arrested is how long it takes to just get through it. Like, let's get on with it. You know.
One of the actually one of the more poignant questions he asked is, "Can I ask what I'm being arrested for?" So he's fine with the arrest. He just kind of wants to know, like, I got to prepare myself here. Like,
there was a question I excised from the video, but he just says court's tomorrow, right? He's like, okay, so I'll go in front of the judge tomorrow. They'll set my bond, and then I'll be able to postpone and get out, or I'll sit there if I can't postpone. So the guy knows the drill. He's even been arrested for domestic violence before because he knows that he's no bond while he sits through jail through the night, and a judge will basically decide that for him tomorrow. What else, Drew?
You're gonna battle. You're gonna have to decide whether you're gonna be human to this guy or not. Like, it depends on how much paperwork you have. This is the reality of life. It's hey man, can I get one last smoke? Just one last. I'm gonna be in there for 60 and 90 maybe.
I know some cops that'll do it because they'll get the cooperation from him, and if it's already his cigarettes, they're not. I've had people ask me to buy them cigarettes before while I was transporting.
I bought cigarettes, but you know what? I mean, like,
you softy.
I am, but but it's also dependent on how much paperwork you have. Like, if it's kind of like a kid with an iPad. You know what I'm saying? Like, here, just take the iPad and shut up.
I don't know, because
you want to,
I don't have any kids, and I didn't grow up in an era of technology. But as far as paperwork goes, just to close out the case, the officer did go back upstairs. He had victim statements for everybody in that apartment to fill out. There's tons of clipboards, tons of paper. He had to explain to them the importance of showing up at court. Obviously, if they don't show up at court tomorrow, that's a problem. But Thad, we want to thank you, first of all, for submitting a case, for proving that what I do is extremely easy. But we also wanted to show a positive ending. Obviously, this guy goes to jail, and then it's clear sailing from here on out. He'll learn the error of his ways, and that his true treasure is the love in his life, and that from here on out, he will respect her and be a true gentleman. So we're glad that. I'm just joking. Obviously, like, this guy's life is kind of screwed up, but this is a nice ending. Like, nobody died, you know, like, that's a good ending, right, Drew?
I think it's a great ending. The people that needed to go to jail went to jail.
Good job, Thad. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, Thad. We have a caller I want to go to before we transition into extraterrestrials. Let's see if they'll talk with us or if it'll work, or because it's always a crapshoot. Are you the caller? Are you there? Nope. Hold on. Caller, are you there?
I am here.
And John can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, he can hear me. I can't hear him. So
hey,
if he's shit talking again, I can't hear his commentary.
Hey, Micah.
Hold on a second. I got to turn on your Micah. All right, try it now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Hey, Micah.
I can hear you both now.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. A full-blown comm center, everybody. Episode 24.
Hey, if you want to call us, by the way, like Micah did, the phone number is 848-266-6911. That's 848-COMM-911.
Nice.
848-266-6911. Nice.
I did it the wrong time.
All right, go ahead, Micah.
Hey, I don't have much to comment on this week on domestic violence. The only time I was involved in a domestic violence call in a different state, I'm not sure.
Did you just get arrested for domestic violence?
Were you beat?
No, someone else took a trip to the hospital, but it was not me or the person that was originally the subject. But I did not get to leave a voicemail this week, so I felt bad. So I figured I'd call in.
Oh, this is what we call, Micah, a live voicemail. So I'm going to go. All right, here we go. 3, 2. You've reached the Comm Center with Drew Breezy and JB. Please.
Para español, prima dos.
Marque número dos.
Oh, I may have hit dos. Sorry, guys. I've been busier than a hooker on nickel night this week, so I was not able to leave.
Hey, we just had a 12-year-old watching this show. 12 years old.
Okay, I'm sorry. A lady of the evening. A lady of the evening.
Bed. Go to bed, Thad.
Real cute. Sorry, this is probably not appropriate for YouTube.
All right. So we have another caller on the line. Micah, I think that you wanted to say thank you to John, though.
I did. It's nice to hear from you, John, this week. Thank you. We'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, Micah, sorry I've
Captain-
been incommunicado lately. I've been super busy, which I know isn't fair to you. Like, I need to make time for everyone in my life, and you're kind of like on the edge of the table. You don't belong to be there. You deserve to be near the center. However, I haven't forgotten about you, and I'm going to be in touch with you real soon, like tomorrow or Saturday. So just keep that in mind.
All right. Captain of the Comm Center,
Sounds
Micah, we salute you. Okay, so are we going to talk about the alien or?
Yeah, let's do aliens.
Before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now and
We might be eating up too much bandwidth on this. I don't know, or maybe the aliens got to us. But
why did you stop it? Is it because I wanted to believe?
No, I did not stop it. I'm pretty sure that aliens stopped it. So,
oh my gosh, I believe that kid.
I do too. Just like basically what he's saying. So I mean, I know he saw something. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was alien.
Well, it was a cloaking device. What he's talking about, that adaptive camouflage, all it has to do is just you make it just so you're not sure what you saw. Like the idea that like it's completely invisible, like that's sci-fi or whatever. But like just some kind of energy to just distort the light so that whatever's coming off of it, it's being refracted, so you can't tell what it is. It's amazing.
Here's the body cam.
Yeah, sure.
They said they saw something fall from the sky. They checked their backyard and they saw something with like 8 to 9 feet, no clothes, green-colored men, not human, with like the eyes were glowing, and it was not a human being. So. Did you see it?
Huh?
Did you see it?
Yeah, me and him saw it.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
Because I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big. That's what they say. They see like a big something with lights.
Can we go
I have a big there in the back. You can see.
I see a cat over there.
No, please can you check because this people is not gonna let you see. Oh yeah, that.
Do you have cameras?
Well, there's one camera, but it's down to the company. I'm gonna take the camera. Rolando is the only one who can see the camera.
Did you see it? No? I'm kind of curious now. I want to know if there's aliens.
I was with the iPhone. I say, I want to
record something.
Where did they go?
Well, they say that. I'm gonna show you.
You have a dirt backyard. Can you show me if there's a? And I'm sorry. Did you see them go anywhere? No. No, you didn't. Did they probably go that way? Hey, did you guys? Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Well, listen, I want to kind of comment on this. there was a car that was passing by. He's obviously doing like a neighborhood survey type deal, and he's like, "Look,
we call that canvassing in the police
yeah,
biz."
canvassing." So he's just like, "Hey, I just want to ask you a really dumb question. Did you see anything fall out of the sky, or did you see any aliens running around?" I mean, I I want to believe that they would have stopped and said, "Hey, I saw two large aliens. If you're looking for aliens, I saw them back there." Like, I want to believe that they would have stopped.
No, but you don't want to poison the well, Drew. If these witnesses say we dead saw two aliens, the cops can't be like, well, we had put that idea in their minds. They saw it independent of us. That way, if you need to prosecute these aliens, these witnesses are pristine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if the aliens have been drinking all day either. So it's kind of hard to say. So in lieu of going through this whole thing,
your neighbors.
It's bizarre. Like, I'll break down from the cop side of it. Like, we'll talk more about the dispatch side in a second. But like, you've got to treat it like it made me think when he's standing in the driveway talking to this guy, whether he's convincing or not. Like, you've got to, in essence, treat it like it's real. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, you can't patronize them at all. You have to be respectful and take the complaint sincerely. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Because then it'll forever be known as a Jonathan call. If you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was literally aliens, like aliens from space, the first ones that we captured, and he showed up there and he Jonathan the whole thing. He was just like, nah, okay, and he got in his car and he lit
could you imagine aliens become common knowledge after this? And like they always play the video, like, yeah, this is the idiot that thought it was fake.
Right. This is right. And they always land where you are just to tease you and to taunt you.
Well, they they only land in America and in major cities. Yes. I'm surprised they didn't destroy a landmark like the Eiffel Tower there in Las Vegas, or the Luxor or something, or like, Raider Stadium or something.
Oh, that's a beautiful place. So
Looks
anyway,
like a toilet.
They looked around. Then the other officer there just started joking with the people, because this officer, who's conscientious, is basically saying he's playing the odds. He's like, look, man, if the aliens show back up, just pick up the phone and dial 911. That's pretty much standard what you say when you leave anybody's house anyway.
Well, also, you don't want to put the fear of God in them. Like, hey, just so you know, we're the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. We're investigating an alien invasion. If you have any information, here's my card. Like, that might put somebody on edge, That way, you're just like, hey, call 911 if anything weird happens. If you get abducted, you get probed. Treat it like any other regular terrestrial probing, and we'll respond accordingly.
The other officer in that same conversation is like, do me a favor, don't call me. I am not dealing with that. Those are aliens. That's not
call the police, which means call someone else.
Yeah, it's just right. Don't. So so when the kid did his video, he basically went through the details of when the cops were leaving. He got it wrong because I saw the body cam, but he said, yeah, basically the cops told us that if they come back, not to call them, just to shoot them ourselves. Nobody ever said that. I mean, unless they said it somewhere else that I didn't see on the body cam. But it's a convincing video when the kid just looks in the camera and he's just kind of like, look, this is what I saw. Like, I really don't care if you believe me or not. I know what I saw. Then you see the Ring doorbell. Then you see the traffic stop. Then you hear what's on the Ring doorbell. You see the circle. They said that there were men in suits the following day driving around.
Oh my gosh. I think we know who they are.
Yeah, we do. By the way, it was you and me, John. But by the way, they redacted some of the backyard.
I know. Doesn't that bother you? Because like, what's on there? Maybe they couldn't see it, but the camera could, so they had to blur it out.
Well, they're not a victim of a crime, so they claimed, well, this is private property. So either it's like an outbuilding where the people in the outbuilding didn't give permission, to be filmed, or not filmed. Like, a body camera is going to film whatever a body camera is going to be, but they don't have to release. They don't have to be part of the public records release.
I'm not comfortable with evidence of UFOs being redacted. I'm not comfortable with it being covered up. I believe that people have a right to know. Roswell, Roswell, you know?
Let's not invoke Roswell just yet.
Roswell. I'm invoking it. Go ahead, Drew.
How far is Area 51 from?
They're not close. Area 51 is, I think it's just outside of it's in Groom Lake, Nevada. You know, Roswell was a smokescreen. I think we all know that. Area 51, too much attention there now. I don't think anything's in Area 51. I don't think there's gold in Fort Knox either. But just I don't like that they're redacting things, Drew. I think the people deserve a right to know, and I'll get off that horse.
What if this is Area 50?
Right. Where are the other areas? Like,
yeah, right. Where are the first 50?
Yeah.
51. Like,
yeah,
that's only the 51st state, so you can't go by that.
You know what we should do? We should have Thad Surska, who is a huge X-Files fan. He's just starting his journey into the X-Files, which, by the way, is possibly one of the greatest shows and franchises ever. I would like you to open your own X-File, Thad, and try to figure out, first of all, where the other at least 50 areas are. But I also want you to contact the Las Vegas Metro Police Department and ask for unredacted footage of this UFO case, because Thad, you can get to the bottom of things. You just emailed a guy in Ohio and he sent you whatever you wanted. I think if you email him, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, they'll possibly just send it to you. And then you send it to me, and then I will leave your name out of it to protect you as a minor, and I will get all the credit for blowing this case wide open.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it. Get on it, Thad. What are you waiting for?
Thad, you should be emailing Las Vegas Metro PD right now if you're not already. Open that email.
Yeah, CC Jonathan on it.
Yeah, CC me on it. Yes, your mom has my email address.
Yeah, blind CC.
Blind, yes. That way they don't know.
So I think that about covers it. I mean, unless you really want to go into in depth, I mean, you know, I kind of apologize because it started off as a rant. It got into what else did we transition to? We had a few calls. We talked.
Well, I don't like that word transition, but yeah, we covered a bunch of stuff, and it's okay because like you're not feeling great. You know, you're back from your vacation, which means you're sick again, and also Deadleg's down tonight, guys. He's not feeling great. He's been through kind of a rough thing, so.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to Deadleg. Also, Andrea has, I regret to inform you guys, like I wasn't necessarily going to bring this on the show, but she's been indicted for thieving those bones. So she is currently in a jail in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So,
I was wondering how long they were going to sit on that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, not to belabor the point or prolong the show, but I am still suffering from whatever I had. I mean, like I have days where I'm just like, wow, I cannot believe I got this sore throat again. And
I'm glad you crossed international borders with it, Drew. That's great.
Yeah, I spread it as far as I could. So I was kind of hoping the ocean waters would have healed me, but apparently
it's funny. When I was sick and I was down there, I actually was really congested. I went to the beach because where I live, like we don't have the beach, and so I went down, and the surf was really rough, and I was in the ocean, and it was constantly like cleaning me out. It was like the ultimate like nasal spray experience. Like even though I still felt kind of lousy, I felt really clean afterwards. So I just left my disease in the ocean, whereas you took it to another country. So
thank you for joining us tonight. We had a wonderful time. It was a good save. John and I were both in the doldrums, and we both kind of lifted each other by each other's bootstraps.
We just appreciate that somebody cares and that we get to vent a little bit and talk about our lives. So Drew, I get to catch up with you. I did, I wrote you off as dad, so it's always good to see you again after that.
I'm alive, somewhat.
Yeah.
So until next time, please leave us a voicemail 848-266-6911.
Nice.
Or 848 Comm 911.
Please leave us a voicemail. We didn't get any this week.
Come on, it's there for you. It's free. It's like the sun. It's free.
Yep. Gives you cancer just like the sun.
Okay, we love you, and as usual, John.
All right.